In this video, I'm about to show you 10 US broth brands you must avoid at all costs, and exactly why, as well as 5 that are actually safe and worth your money, starting with number 10, College Inn. College Inn looks trustworthy. It has that old school label that makes you think someone's grandmother approved it. But when I flipped the carton around, I saw 1 gram of protein per serving. 1 gram. That tells you immediately this is not real bone broth. When bones simmer properly for 12 to 24 hours, collagen breaks down and protein levels rise naturally. You should be seeing at least 8 to 10 grams. Instead, you get salt, natural flavor, and yeast extract doing the heavy lifting. That's food science replacing food tradition. It might work in a quick soup recipe, but nutritionally, it's not giving your body anything meaningful. Number 9, Swanson. Swanson is everywhere, which usually means mass production, and mass production almost always means dilution. Again, protein sits around 1 gram per serving. That is the giveaway. Real broth gels when refrigerated because of collagen content. Swanson does not. They also add sugar in small amounts, which is something most people don't even realize. It's not enough to taste sweet, but it balances salt and makes it more addictive. That's a formulation decision, not a nutrition decision. When a company focuses more on shelf stability and flavor consistency than actual nourishment, you end up with a product that fills space in your pantry but doesn't really support your health. Number 8, Great Value. I understand budgets. I really do. But this is one of those cases where cheap becomes expensive long term. Great Value broth is extremely low in protein and very high in sodium. The ingredient list reads like something engineered to taste like broth rather than actually be broth. Chicken flavor appears before anything meaningful. That tells you everything. If bones were truly simmered long enough, protein would show up naturally. It doesn't. So what you're buying is convenience and branding at a lower price point, not actual nutrition. And when companies realize consumers don't check labels, that's when standards start slipping even further. Number 7, Kitchen Basics. Kitchen Basics markets itself as simple and honest. The packaging looks clean, the wording sounds reassuring, but again, protein numbers tell the story. Usually 1 or 2 grams per serving. That is not bone broth territory. They also use sugar and concentrated flavors to round out taste. Here's what frustrates me. They price it higher than bargain brands. So now you're paying extra for something that still doesn't deliver collagen or meaningful nourishment. When broth is done correctly, it becomes thick and gelatinous when chilled. That texture is a sign of real simmered bones. This product stays watery. That alone should make you question it. Number 6, Pacific Foods regular broth lines. Pacific Foods looks like a smart choice because the word organic stands out and the packaging feels trustworthy. While organic sourcing does matter, that alone does not make it real bone broth. When you check the nutrition label, protein levels remain low, which signals limited collagen extraction. Many of their regular broth lines rely more on vegetable bases and natural flavors than long-simmered bones. This creates a health halo effect, where clean branding suggests nourishment that the actual nutritional content does not fully support. Number 5, Knorr. Knorr cubes and liquid concentrates are everywhere, and that's exactly why so many people assume they count as real broth. But let's be honest about what these actually are. Knorr products are designed for speed and shelf life, not nourishment. They dissolve instantly because they're mostly salt, dehydrated flavor compounds, and processed seasonings pressed into a cube or thick liquid. The protein content is basically non-existent, and that alone tells me bones were never simmered for any meaningful amount of time. Real broth takes hours, sometimes an entire day, to pull collagen out of bones. Knorr skips all of that. It may work if you just need something salty to flavor rice or noodles, but if you're buying broth for gut health, joint support, or collagen intake, this isn't helping you. It's seasoning pretending to be food. Number 4, Better Than Bouillon. Better Than Bouillon is one of those products people defend fiercely, mostly because it tastes bold and savory. And I get it, strong flavor can feel like quality, but taste and nutrition are 2 very different things. When you actually look at what this product is, it's a concentrated paste made mostly of salt, vegetable solids, sugar, and flavor enhancers. The protein content is extremely low, which tells you collagen extraction was never the priority. If bones were simmered long enough, protein would show up naturally. Instead, this product relies on intensity to convince you it's rich. It works great as a seasoning base for soups or sauces, but drinking it as bone broth for health benefits is misleading yourself. It fixes a cooking shortcut, not a nutrition problem. Number 3. Progresso. Progresso broth follows the same blueprint as most large soup manufacturers. Make it shelf-stable, make it consistent, and make it cheap to produce at scale. Sodium is high, protein is low, and flavor enhancers do most of the heavy lifting. There's very little indication that bones were simmered for long periods, because if they were, you'd see it in both texture and protein numbers. Real broth is dense and gelatinous when cold. Progresso stays thin and watery. That's not an accident, that's a shortcut. Long simmering costs time and money, and mass production avoids both. The result is a product that tastes fine in a recipe, but doesn't deliver the depth, collagen, or nourishment people expect when they hear the word broth. Number 2. Campbell's. Campbell's built its entire company empire on convenience, and their broth fits that same philosophy perfectly. It's predictable, shelf-stable, and widely available, but nutritionally weak. Protein numbers remain very low, which means collagen content is minimal at best. Small amounts of sugar are added to balance salt and improve mouthfeel, while flavor concentrates create the illusion of depth. This isn't traditional cooking, it's engineered consistency. And consistency sells, especially when we, the people, are busy. But if you're buying broth because you want real nourishment, real minerals, or joint and gut support, this product doesn't deliver. It fills a pantry, not a nutritional gap. And that difference matters, especially when prices keep going up. Number 1. Store-brand bone broth with 2 grams of protein. This one frustrates me more than anything else on the shelf. When a carton clearly says bone broth on the front, but only contains 1 or 2 grams of protein per serving, that is marketing taking advantage of people. Real bone broth naturally contains 8 to 12 grams of protein because collagen breaks down into protein during long simmering. You don't have to add it, it shows up on its own when the process is done correctly. When it's missing, that means the broth was diluted, rushed, or barely made from bones at all. Charging premium prices for that kind of product is something I cannot support. If a company won't be honest on the nutrition label, they don't deserve your trust. Now here's the good part. Not every company is cutting corners. Some are actually doing it right, simmering bones long enough, keeping ingredients clean, and being transparent about protein content. These are the ones worth supporting. Number 5. Kettle and Fire. Kettle and Fire is one of those brands that actually proves what real broth is supposed to look like. When you see around 10 grams of protein per serving, that's not an accident. That's the natural result of properly simmered bones over a long period of time. Protein at that level means collagen was actually extracted, not skipped or diluted. They use grass-fed and pasture-raised bones, which matters because higher quality bones produce richer broth. And here's the test I always tell people to do. Put it in the refrigerator. When it cools, it gels. That gelatinous texture is the physical proof that collagen is present. Ingredient lists are short, readable, and don't rely on artificial flavor tricks to fake depth. This is broth made the old-fashioned way, just packaged for modern shelves. Number 4. Bonafide provisions. Bonafide provisions being sold frozen is actually one of the biggest green flags you can see in a broth product. Freezing means fewer preservatives, less chemical stabilizing, and far less processing overall. That alone tells you this product wasn't designed just to sit on a shelf forever. Protein content stays high across their broths, which means bones were actually simmered long enough to do the job. When you chill it, the broth turns gelatinous, exactly how traditional broth behaves when collagen is present. That texture doesn't come from additives, it comes from time and bones. The flavor is naturally rich without needing artificial boosters or excessive salt. This is the kind of broth that feels homemade, because the process behind it mirrors how people have made broth for generations. Number 3. Also Good. Also Good is a solid example of what happens when a company focuses more on process than on marketing buzzwords. Their ingredient lists stay minimal, which already puts them ahead of most grocery store options. More importantly, protein levels remain strong, and that's where the truth always shows up. High protein means collagen extraction actually happened, which only comes from long simmer times and a heavy emphasis on bones. This isn't a vegetable base pretending to be broth. It's bone-forward, slow-cooked, and intentionally made that way. When companies prioritize bones, time, and technique over flashy packaging, the nutrition speaks for itself. Also Good doesn't need to oversell anything. The numbers, texture, and consistency already do that work for them. Number 2. Ancient Nutrition Bone Broth. Ancient Nutrition takes a very direct approach, and I respect that. They don't hide behind vague language. They emphasize collagen content right up front. And unlike many brands, the protein levels actually back that claim up. What you're seeing here is real extraction, not dilution. Their formulations stay tight and purposeful, without unnecessary fillers or flavor tricks. When protein numbers reflect what naturally comes from collagen, it tells you the process was done correctly. This is where the difference between marketing and measurable nutrition becomes obvious. Anyone can put bone broth on a label. Not everyone can prove it on the nutrition panel. Ancient Nutrition does, and that's why it earns a spot this high on the list. Number 1. Homemade bone broth. At the end of the day, nothing beats making bone broth yourself. Beef knuckles, chicken feet, marrow bones, these are collagen-rich cuts that grocery stores practically give away. Add water, a splash of vinegar, and thyme. Let it simmer low and slow for 12 to 24 hours. When it cools and turns gelatinous, that's how you know you did it right. No corporate shortcuts, no flavor enhancers, no hidden sugars. Just bones doing what bones have done for centuries. You control the salt, the sourcing, and the strength. It's the most honest broth you can get, and once you've made it yourself, it becomes very hard to trust anything watered down and boxed ever again.